Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do your tassel and how to string the beads for your tag. This is for any of the tags in your tier tray kit. So I just cut a circle, but this will work with any of the shapes. Okay, so in the tag kit, you have a really long string and then you've got a medium and a small. To make the tassel, you need the smallest one and the longest one. So let's take the longest one. And then I just hold my hand out like this and I start the string a little bit below my palm. And then I just start winding it around. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this string down because I'll end up cutting it and evening it out, so it's okay. So now you have an oval, and then I pinch it about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way from the top. And then take your smallest string and leave out like this much of the string so that you have something to tie a knot with. And I just make a really tight, well, I'm just gonna go around it a few times really tight. And then I'm going to tie it into a knot. I need to hold it down, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm actually not tying a knot, I'm just tying it one time. I mean, you can do a knot, that's totally fine. I just do something else. Okay, so you'll want like a pencil or a paintbrush, something to make an eye, basically, because this is where you're going to be stringing a piece of string through. So you want to make sure that there's this distinct hole that you can see through. So once I do that, so do you see that there's a hole there? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to put it through the bottom of this tassel and just cut. And then I'm just going to even out the bottom, these bottom strings. And I don't have any super glue next to me, but you can either tie this into, where was it? The string. You can either tie this into a knot, or what I like to do is I put a little teeny tiny dot of super glue right on the center where I tied it. That way it's not gonna move. Okay, then you're going to take your medium string. Now, you need to get some Scotch tape, or you can use painter's tape. And I just use a really small piece and I'm going to put that on the ends. This is gonna make it a lot easier to string your beads. Otherwise, your string or your twine, most of the tier trays come with twine, but I already had an extra of the string cut, so that's what the demo is with. I'm gonna put this tape on both ends of this string. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, once this is, whether you super glue or you tie it into a knot, then I just trim this so that there's not string going everywhere. Okay, now that eye that you made, if you have the string, I think there was one kit, I think it's the Mother's Day kit. So the string, it moves, it's a little bit more flexible, so you might have to make that hole again. Put one end of this string through and then tie a knot around your tassel. Now you can trim this piece right here, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna kind of hold it like this. So when I string the other end, I'm not good with my words. So I'm going to take this end and I'm going to string that first bead down. I'm actually going to just, so that I don't have to trim this and worry about it untying itself, I'm going to put it through the first few beads. I'm not sure how many it will go through, but so string through, and then when I get to here, just add that as well. It will go through 3 beads. Okay. There we go. Now we'll go faster. Okay. So once you get all your beads on, then what I'm going to do is get my tag and I'm going to string it through, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get it as close to the beads as possible. I'm going to kind of go down because I need to set this down while I do this. So then when I tie the knot, so I'm going to string it around the bottom of this. So I've made that loop and I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to keep this part of the tag as close to these beads as possible. Do you see how I'm kind of just holding it still while I pull this tight? That way you want some movement, but you don't want a huge gap in between your tag and your beads. So it might take you a couple times if you need to undo it and redo it, that's okay. But once you're happy with it, then I'm just gonna do the same thing just to tie the knot so that it stays tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take this and string it up through a few beads. I might need the tweezers. Nope, it's coming through just fine. And then after it goes through a few, then I'm just gonna go ahead and trim it off. You don't need to go all the way through the beads. And that is how you do your tassel. If you have any other questions about any part of the tier tray, or if you need a closer look of one of the steps of the tassel, then just let me know.